Howdy, howdy, it's your Rodfather 916. Over the weekend, if you followed the video, I was out at different clubs here in Sacramento. One of my friends wanted to go. She hasn't lived that long and she wanted to go to different clubs. And so we did. And I like to dance. Um, and unfortunately, no hip hop clubs for baby boomers. So move out of my way. I'm coming to your floor. And so we went to a few clubs. And at one club that we went to, um, it's a hole in the wall that I enjoy. I do karaoke and things. At one club, she said the bartender was racist. This is a theme of hers. My family is multiracial, and my life has been multiracial. Uh, my family, and I think I've said this, is white, black, Asian, and Hispanic. And I've lived. One of the great things about Sacramento is very diverse, and it's not perfect, but the people here get along really well. And that's one of the things that holds me to this city. I'm not originally from here, but I like the diversity and the fact that people get along. I'm not out to just going to black club or the Mexican club or the white club. And people seem to be welcome at most clubs. Like I said, the world's not perfect. But she's had interactions through the years where she has felt attacked by white people. Now, at this particular transaction with the bartender, I was watching her. And the bartender was my age or older, somewhere in the 60s, 70s, baby boomer. And she wasn't rude. She's abrupt, as a lot of people in my age group. You have grandparents her age, we tell it like it is. We tell it like it is, TIS. Tell it like it is. And a lot of people, they struggle with that, our directness. I'm not out to, people our age is not out to, for popular. If you don't like what we have to say, oh well, kick rocks. And that's why the grandchildren tend to love us, where the parents are still in that, well, I don't want them mad at me. Well, I don't want anything mad at me, but I don't want to mislead you. I'm just going to tell you the truth. I'm going to let everything fall. So this is where this lady was coming from. Issue about alcohol. Is there enough alcohol in here? No, it's not alcohol. Well, this is what we put in here. And she was abrupt. And so, because I watched it, because it was taking them, I thought, a long, long time. And so, it's one of those things that I've noticed. You know, Unfortunately for her, I have a good memory. And she's had a lot of encounters with white people where she has said they're racist. And I think the issue is she's not uncomfortable being around white people. Um, and so it's almost like she's not happy until someone who's racist toward her called her nigger. She's not happy unless that happens. So at least she says, see, that's why I don't mess with them. That's why I don't hang out with them. Because they're all racist. I ain't got time for them. I've heard friends say that through the years, family members, despite, how diverse my family is. I've heard certain people, usually my age, say that. Not the young kids, but the people my age. And so, it's just like, you're not going to be happy until you someone validates you and say, we don't deal with your kind, then you go, see, I have another friend. He's white. He's in his mid 50s. I met him through an organization and we became fast friends. We both have warped sense of humors, both divorced, both have kids, whole 9 yards. And, but I've noticed that anytime I'm with him, it's cool. And maybe someone else of another color is cool. But if it's more than two or three, he gets really uncomfortable and he makes an excuse to leave, and I know what's up. I know he's uncomfortable with people of being around people of color, not the Rodfather, but people of color, or one person, which I find interesting, being a minority. I mean, we're used to, it's not uncommon for a black, an Asian, or a person of color to be the only person of color on the floor or in the organization or in that company. And it's something we live with. But I find that whites, and this is just my experience, don't stay long being the only person of color, only white person there. I find that very interesting. See, to me, the issue is people are so worried about being misunderstood or saying the wrong thing. Or in the case of my friend, she's not going to be happy until someone calls her nigger. I mean, she's giving me things that just doesn't make sense. And this is the first time we've been out socially in a long time, and I just like, why can't you just like chill and relax? A lot of people overcomplicate life. I'm in my 60s, and even before that, it's like I'm having a good time. I'm not worried about being misunderstood because I can tell intent very clear. I was at a gathering, and this gentleman and I don't know, we shared a laugh, and we were talking, and basic stuff, random stuff, and suddenly he made a hard left, and he wanted to talk about some issue about black people and being awoke and the whole 9 yards. And I went, listen, we're enjoying each other right now, enjoying each other's company. One thing I don't talk about is politics with a stranger. And he went, why? And I could tell, because I worked with people over 50 years, that your intent was to get me riled up. And that's not happening. Not with the Rodfather. I'm not letting you make me make a fool. So you can go tell some people, well, I was talking to this older black gentleman and he just went off on me. Because I knew that was coming. I knew that was the intent. And when I feel it, I leave. If there's no arguments, I'm not raising my voice. I don't know you. That's one of the things that always kills me. I'm passionate about people I know, but having arguments with a stranger, embarrassing myself, possibly limiting opportunities, because once you have a fight with people in public, nobody else wants to talk to you because they think you're kind of wacky. And so he kept pushing the issue. And I walked away. I said, listen, I've said it 3 times. Clearly, you're an intelligent person. Rob Brother can be a little bit shady. English is your primary language. I'm going to walk over here. So he started to follow. Well, I don't understand what. And I said, oh yeah, you want to fight. You want me to get loud because certain words he was using and how he was using it. I said, oh, this is Fox News. I don't have a problem with Fox News because I do these videos and I blog at other places. I try to be well rounded and I watch Fox News. Because you need to know what the other side is thinking. And there's some good programs and good people. It's not my cup of tea every day, but I watch Fox News. So he wanted to say woke, which is one of my favorite things right now. I meet a lot of people saying, well, we're woke or we're not woke. Ron DeSantis uses a lot. And when you ask people to define woke, their definition of woke, they struggle. You know, they go to the Sahara and visit the Sahara, and from there they go to Mongolia and other places because Merriam-Webster and the other dictionaries have one definition of woke, or they're connected. Are you woke? Yes, I'm awake, and so I'm awake to what's happening, but that's another story. But people can tell intent. So if you're being around people who don't look like you, don't believe like you, come from different backgrounds, if the conversation is genuine, they will cut you some slack. That's been my observation, and I've traveled many places in the world where I don't speak the language, or I'll take up my phone and and say it incorrectly because you can say a word differently by tone, and they can tell that one, I'm not from there, and two, that was not my intent. But if you're sitting on ready, then maybe you'll attack. Now, that's not been my case. Maybe because I'm a giant guy and I could level their neighborhood or their village. But I've never had that because even in the English language, toilet paper has the toilet. They don't call toilet paper in the UK. Many words in Australia and terms in other English countries are different than what we use here in the USA, and sometimes you struggle. But no one's attacked you. They realize you're from another place, and that's my whole point. If you're a different person, I mean, if you're talking to a different race, if they know your intent, you're not going to be attacked. That was true. Um, I was at 10, 15 years ago. There's an Afghanistan family, and I went to hug the ladies for making me dinner, and the grandfather got up. Grandfather, who's 160 years old, got up and he blocked me, and that hurt the godfather's feelings because I was just thanking him for providing a great meal and be so hospitable to this big man. But that's not something to allow. That's not something they do in their culture. Not all of the people in Afghanistan, but this particular house I was at. And I was so hurt and embarrassed. And now I've embarrassed myself because this man who can't speak English jumped out of his chair wearing all black and blocked me. And I just was humiliated. And as I was driving home feeling this big, my friend called me and his wife called me and his kids called me and said, that's the old way. You didn't do anything wrong. And we're friends today. You know, his kids are in college and we text and we email and send each other TikToks and stuff. Intent. So my Caucasian male friend, he may never get it. That's not my place. Um, my female friend may never get it. Um, both of them, it's like they're almost the same person on a different side of the. They're on the same coin, but they're on different sides. But it's the same. Life is just too short. As you get older, you appreciate it more. I don't know how many days that God has planned for me. I smile as much as I possibly can. I love traveling because I love getting lost and meeting people and having new experiences. And they don't have to look like me. I've been to states, I've worked in states. I was working in Wyoming where we're point something. Never had an incident. I was in Montana, never had an incident. I had friends going, "Why are you going to Montana? There's no black people there." And I want to go back. Had a great time. Um, like to go to Italy, and Africa is my goal. God willing, maybe this year. Just new experiences. But life is short, and don't allow fear can keep us from moving forward. A lot of you right now don't realize how blessed you are. No, you don't have the latest model Mercedes and it's bumming you out. No, you're not in a 3,000, 3,500 square mansion and you don't have a shoe closet. Some people are so bummed out over these little trivial things that are missing out in life. I don't have 21-inch, but there's so many people laying on the streets in your community who would gladly trade places with you and have a cup of soup because they're warm tonight. People in a hospital that would trade places with you right now. People who don't have as much as you, and you're complaining that you don't have enough, would trade places with you. I have this thing about wasting life. And if you're angry, I think it's just a waste. If you can't smile, it's just a waste. I can't be around somebody who can't smile, someone who's negative. I had all this apprehension going out with this person, and we had a fantastic time. And I have to accept who she is. I don't have to become her. And she didn't, and her feelings about white people didn't affect us at all. We had a great time and we'll do it again. But I won't stay up until 7:30 in the morning because I'm too old. Now, that could be a lie. If the music's good, it's like, come on over. But anyway, that's the Rod Father. I like hearing what you have to think, what you have to say. That's how we keep growing. We don't have to agree. You don't have to agree with me. I'm okay with that. But I'd like to hear you. I'd like to hear why you don't agree with me. If you do agree with me, that's great. Meanwhile, if you haven't already, hit that like button. If you haven't subscribed and you listen to me on a regular basis and you don't think I'm too far whacked out, hit that subscribe button because I am too far whacked out for certain people. People go, God, he's wacky. My kids bring people to visit and go, you're right, he's crazy. But meanwhile, thank you a lot for watching. I really appreciate it. I'm appreciating all your comments. And every day, I wish everyone, everywhere, whether you subscribe to me or whether you don't, I wish you love, joy, peace, and happiness. It is a choice. I just hope you're making the right one. This is the Rod Father. My colored lights in the back. I have subscribers here and subscribers are there. Who knows? I may even have backdrops the whole 9 yards. I may get too big for my britches, which is the case today. So it's just another day in Rodfather land. Meanwhile, thank you a lot for watching. I'm out of here.